you have like really high performing people on your team. You are not the man with the crystal ball answering every single question.
Very
you
true.
have mad talented people that are like answering a lot of the questions, and you're available, or at least you were available for that when I was there, which is really, really cool. So
yeah. I still lead every call.
yeah, that's awesome, man. So start up Hemon. And so you guys start acquiring clients. Like who was your first client when you got rolling?
So my first client, it's their name was Truzy. And actually I got them before I had worked. I think we're going on about 3-4 years now of being their client. And they were probably my first client ever. But when we started Hemon itself, I think our first client was probably Redline Steel. I think Redline Steel was our first Hemon Media client.
It's in a lot of the trainings, so I know all about that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So really, really interesting product. Obviously affected, massively affected by the markets because steel prices going up, down, changes there's a lot, but that's super cool. So when you had already built up so much clout by all of the different work you had done for other different businesses. So when it was time for you to sell to somebody, it was just a matter of, like you said, just saying yes.
Yeah. Even up to today. I mean, we still have never done any kind of outreach or ads or promotions to promote the agency. It's been entirely just people coming to us because they've heard of us from someone else.
That's super cool, man. It says a lot about you and your team for sure. How have you developed and retained the level of talent that you have on your team? Because these individuals, obviously they are hyper capable of making money by themselves, because in order to get to the level of where you guys are spending how much you're spending, they could go off tomorrow and start up their own thing. But what are you doing different that's allowing you to just retain these people and build a massive business?
I think in the beginning, so there's like almost kind of two phases in my head. Like in the beginning, obviously, I think it was, I had to attract the right people. And I think people recognize when someone else is cut from the same cloth. And I knew that's what I was looking for. And in the beginning, I would say, actually, I didn't do that correctly. I didn't build a good team. I think in the beginning, what I believed was important in an ad agency was the results. And that's all that mattered. And I quickly found out that that's actually not true. I quickly found out that probably when it comes to retaining clients, I would say 60 to 70% of it is actually experience rather than purely results. Yep. Results plays into it, but I think I found that experience was a big part of it. And in the beginning, I thought the solution to scale, again, knowing that like we hit 100K in revenue in about 86 days. I was just looking at this. So it's
per month or like total?
Per month, yeah. 6 figures a month in revenue in about 86 days from day zero. And when you have something like that, your problem is actually not the revenue. It is fulfillment. It is team to fulfill on that. Because if you just bring in bad people, you're just going to churn those clients. And in the beginning, what I thought was the way to find good people was to pay them very well. And I went out and found the top media buyers at some of the top agencies and the big agencies, and I paid them the 120, 150K a year to come in to be a media buyer, and it was terrible. And I quickly found out like there's got to be a better way to build this team, because when they're coming in, it was not good culture and it wasn't good performance. And so what I started to do is just, can I find the people that match me as far as a culture or like mentality or ambition? And then I train those people. So like our top guys now, if you look at like Joshua, who's one of our senior guys, you met him. Now he's managing about 700, 800K a month in ad spend. But when he came to me, he had never spent more than 15,000 in a month. Or Andrew, our Google guy, who manages about $1 million a month for Google now, he'd never spent more than about $5,000 a month in Google ads. And so for us, and I don't think it's the key for everyone because it takes a lot of time, but for us, I wanted to build with culture first, and then I'll apply and teach the skill. And I think when I've done that, it really has built a fantastic culture, because we found people that came to us because of ambition, and then we gave them value that they've never received anywhere else. They've never received this kind of training from anywhere else. And I think the reason we have such a great team now and why no one leaves is because they see the vision of what I'm trying to build or what we're trying to build. And it sounds so much more fun than anything you could do on your own. 100%. And made sure that I found the ways that the people who want the leadership and the responsibility can make the money they want to make. But more importantly, I think they've found that you can go somewhere else, but you're not going to have this much fun, and you're not going to find another team that has this many people on the team that are just as ambitious as you and driven and focused. And I think that's addicting.